Alright, off camera, I chemically peeled most of the paint because the top coat that somebody put on here, you kind of make it out, yeah. It's not a high quality paint, and I don't want that underneath whatever I'm doing. I'm not doing anything fancy, but still. Then I took 60 grit and I've sanded everything from the body line down. When I did that, I found a little rust here underneath the chrome trim piece that goes around the wheel arch, so I blasted that. And I took the, I don't know what you quite call it, just this sharp shopping cart bump strip. I took that off because I don't like that on these trucks. So now I'm gonna fill the holes for the badge and these with some body filler. And then after I'm done with that, we're going to shoot primer, let that cure. And I was gonna do truck bed liner from that line down, but I found this right next to it in the store, and it's actually cheaper than bed liner, and it has the same texture, but it's an actual paint, and it's got what I'm doing right there on the can. So we're gonna try this out. I've never used it before. We'll see how that turns out. So I'm gonna mix up some body filler, just some regular old Bondo. I thought about using the fiberglass stuff, but I don't think it's necessary here. So I'm gonna mix that up and be back. All right, double duty, the plastic that I laid out to protect the top, where I'm going to do a finer coat of paint, which I also did not sand. So anybody that's all worried about the scratch marks that are still on the lower side, that's because I'm doing a textured paint. So I'm not going to take the time to fine block sand it. The top, however, I have not hit. It's just how the chemical peeler left it after I neutralized the chemical. So then later I'm going to come across and block sand that top half, because we are going to do a purple from that line up all the way around. Might do some black accents in a few places. Haven't decided yet if we're going to paint the grill or keep the grill silver. I do know that billet grill that's in there I do not like, and when I pulled it out, that grill has got to weigh 40 pounds. It is the heaviest grill piece I've ever removed from a truck. So I'm definitely gonna either find a factory grill, which I would prefer, or I have to go buy a repop, because they're made out of plastic. They're a lot lighter, and this old Chevy needs every bit of help it can get for fuel mileage. So I'm gonna mix up the Bondo here on the plastic, and then we'll fill the holes. That is way too much hardener. That's fine. Yeah, it's already setting up. Too much hardener. Well, now you know what not to do. Let's try that again. All right, let's try this again. Shouldn't harden up that fast. And I don't think there's any rust holes over here that I'd found. So those would be the only spots. So we'll wait for those to dry, then cut them down a little bit and might have to add more. Alright, so sanded down all the Bondo spots. I did tape off the little piece of the grill that I hadn't had taped, and the lock cylinder. I did notice that. Got those taped off, so I'm gonna go grab the can of primer, shoot the first coat of primer on this real quick. By the way, wear a respirator when you're doing stuff like this. I know everybody likes joking about safety second, but chemicals will mess you up. This other can of primer is a different color, but it should be fine. Or it won't be, and I'll be doing this all over again. Either way, you'll see it here first. I wanted to do a thicker coat of primer than that, just cause I thought this can had more than it did, so it is what it is. I had this from another project that I did a couple years ago. You're not supposed to mix different brands, but primer to primer, it's not causing an issue. We'll see what happens with the paint. It's Rust-Oleum paint. Ideally, you would want to stick brand with brand, primer and paint, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's flashed off a little bit. It is no longer tacky. I'm probably doing this too fast, but I'm quickly running out of daylight, and I have things I need to do tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to shoot this. I did a test rip on a random truck frame sitting over here, and this has a cone tip on it. And I don't really like it. They need to put a fan tip on this, because of the way this comes out, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it streak free, which is gonna suck. But I think if I kind of fog it, come back and fog it later, it might fill in where the streaks show up. I really wish they had a fan tip on this, because the cone creates hot spots instead of one strip that you can evenly, like a paint gun would be. That cone creates a hot spot on both sides, and you kind of get these weird streaks. But it is what it is. Poor man's paint job. Get what you get, I guess. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get some more of this tomorrow, because I don't have enough daylight, I don't think, to run to town. Get some more and then come back. It doesn't look too bad, except where it did big old clumps. It is nicely textured. Now, how long that's going to last in the sun before it fades, who knows? But that's why I was kind of excited about this, because it's an actual paint. It's not a truck bed liner, so I should be able to just put another coat of paint on top of it if it fades a little bit, because I'm not gonna do any clear down here over this. And the type of paint that I'm gonna mix up, and I think it's called an alkyd, but I'm gonna do that for the top, and that is a single stage, do not need clear. So if need be, I can tape this off and hopefully paint over this if it fades. But we will see. Alright, I went, got some more paint, finished spraying the spot, and I did a top coat on everything. It's about as consistent as it's gonna get, so I'm gonna remove the paint, or not the paint, remove the tape now. Unfortunately, since I ran out of paint and it sat all night, it dried, so I don't know if I'm gonna get a clean line or if I'm gonna blow out some paint when I pull the tape, but we'll see. It's not too bad if I do say so myself. Pretty crisp. Nothing tore or blew out. I'd say that's a success. This paint has a pretty coarse texture. It's a lot more coarse than bed liner. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Here's a little trick. When you've used a rattle can, still got paint in it, before you store it, turn it upside down, blow all the paint out of the tip. Then you won't have a clogged tip next time you go to get the can out and use it. So I was a little off, but still, why does this grill weigh 12.5 pounds? Steal a line from Vice Grip Garage today and help me understand that.